Hi, this is Senate Majority Leader Paul Gazelka with your session update. So many good things happened this year, but I want to go back to the beginning. When we ran for office, we said that we needed to stop the collapse of the healthcare system, we needed to pass a roads and bridges bill, and we needed significant tax relief. That's what we ran on, that's what we did. The first thing we did was we stopped the collapse of the healthcare market. That happened, it was a big price tag on that, but we got it done. Then we passed a transportation bill that provided over $300 million towards roads and bridges, and a bonding bill that provides another $250 million towards roads and bridges. So significant investment in our roads and bridges. And finally, we passed significant tax relief, $650 million of tax relief. All of these things signed by the governor. But in that tax bill, we had Social Security tax exemption got done, that's in there. Ag property tax relief, which a lot of people really wanted. Student loans for students, they get up to a $500 credit every year on their student loans for some relief there. Small business property tax relief, and so much more. The tax bill was the best and biggest we've had in about 20 years. Transportation bill was the best and biggest we've had probably ever if you consider that we did not do a tab fee increase or a gas tax to get it done. So those are some of the big things that we said we were going to do, but we kept a list of some of the other things we're going to do, and I'm going to read some of these things just to let you know all the good things that we did. On that transportation bill, we also said a reform in there that if you drive a heavier truck when you're doing construction, you now can do that, which in return saves or lets us do about 4% more roads. I can tell you some of the unions were against it, but I said, look, we're giving you so much money towards roads and bridges, your workers are going to have plenty of jobs to do. Let's do a reform. And they agreed to that. Some things we stopped. We stopped the governor from having a tab fee increase or a gas tax increase. That was really good news. We didn't have to do these things without more revenue increases. We banned state funding for Southwest Light Rail. That was a big issue last year that stopped the tax bill. This year we actually banned that and said if the counties are going to do it, don't ask the state all across the state to have to pay for that. We outlaw illegal immigration licensing. We just said, look, we're not going to give you a driver's license if you're a legal immigrant. I think that was important. We repealed Sunday liquor. For those that really cared, it was about 70% of the public said, get rid of this. That's been on the radar for the media for the last 20 years. We got that one done. What I tell people is we unlocked gridlock for a change. We repealed the first in, first out for teacher licensure. It's called LIFO. So if you're an educator or you're in a community that, say, has to reduce the size of the classrooms, has to reduce the number of teachers, we don't have to keep the oldest teacher. Sometimes we will, but now we can pick which teacher we want to keep. So it's going to be the best teacher stays in front of the students. And sometimes that's a new teacher. Now they're not going to be let go. We allowed off-duty police officers to carry in public buildings. It seems so simple, but they couldn't do it. Now they can do it, which gives us more protection out in the community. We overhauled and streamlined the teacher licensure process. So all across the state we have a teacher shortage, and so what we get to do now is if a school board says, why not have somebody that says an engineer wants to come in and teach an engineering class, they don't have to go through the whole process. The school board can find a way to get them in front of our students. So another big win. We blocked the golden parachute for commissioners. We abolished city bans on plastic grocery bags. They were going to try to eliminate plastic bags. We said, no, you can't do that. We supported veterans in education and job training. We stopped the DNR's lead shot ban on public hunting lands. We held down public spending in health programs. That was a big area that we had to address. HHS, Health and Human Services, was growing at a rate of 20%, unsustainable, and so we found a way to shrink that a little bit. We repealed burdensome environment regulations and so much more. Everywhere we turned, we did something good for Minnesota. Real ID got done. That was a bill that we were the last state that had to pass that. Without that, January 18th, people weren't going to be able to fly. But we did it in a way that if somebody didn't want a real ID, they didn't want to give their data to the federal government, we allowed them to have a different driver's license that allows them to drive in Minnesota. It just means they can't fly if that's something they wanted. So many areas, so many good things. I'm proud of what the Senate Republicans did and the part we had in this whole process. And a great session. The one negative was the governor Line item vetoed our House and Senate budget. We got to figure our way through that, but we will. But don't forget all the good things we did.